Alright, another video training for you guys. So it's about captioning the video using Camtasia Studio. So earlier we have exported a squared video. Yun pong na-resize natin na video for Instagram and Facebook ads. Gagamitin po yun sa Instagram at Facebook ads. So ang kulang na lang po nun is to add some captions at the top. Okay, so makikita niyo yung mga video sa Facebook na may text sa taas at also may mga kind of transcription sa baba. Captioning po yung tawag nun. So, or what we call subtitling. Okay, so ganito po yung gagawin sa Camtasia Studio. Of course, it will take a little bit of time for because we are going to listen to the video and actually transcribe what has been said, and we have to type that in. But I will just show you a bit and pieces of it so that you will be able to learn how it's done, and then at the rest you will be able to do this kind of job in the future. So the tool that we're using is Camtasia Studio, and then the first thing that we need to do at hindi natin ginawa in the first video actually is to make sure that we have saved our work beforehand. Kasi po marami po tayong sometimes ginagawa, sometimes meron pong power interruption sa ating lugar. Ang nangyayari po is that we might probably experience a yung mga computer natin ay biglang nag-off, shutdown, especially kung wala po kayong uninterrupted or power supply or UPS. Kailangan nyo rin po yun sa trabaho if you want, at least make some investment on a UPS. Para po if your computer shut down, if you have a power outage in your area, at least at least hindi po kaagad kayo, hindi po agad ma-shutdown yung computer niyo. You still have a time to shut it down and save your work. But most likely when you are working on a project, make sure you save things as early as possible. So like this, I'm going to add a project. I'm going to save this ahead of time. So I'm going to save this and name it caption, like that. So caption. So there you go. So I will import the exported product that I exported videos that I had. Yung ginawa natin earlier. Oops. So it should be on the right folder. There you go. So we have these two videos here. So I'm just going to upload that in this in here. So now we have for FB video and we have for Instagram. So I'm gonna start with Instagram for this video. Ang rason po bakit ginawa natin to is it's because kung remember yung una nating video na ginawa is it is 800 MB. Ito po yung kinuha na natin, or ito po yung inedit natin dito sa video ad na project. Ito po yung video na ginamit natin. It's very big video. It's a very 800 MB, almost a gig yan. If you are editing an almost a gig, it will have, especially if yung PC nyo is lower capacity. Yung PC ko is Core i5 lang and 8 gig RAMs, 2 gig of video card. So if you have lower specs or a little bit higher than that, you might experience a little bit of sloppiness on your computer po kasi mabigat po yung file. So since na-export na po natin yung dalawa, you see it's just 50 MB and 17 MB. So mas magaan na po to. So we should not experience some lag on our video that we're editing. So again, let's start with importing this to our track. And then here, what we need to do next, we have to make sure that, by the way, ito po yung video. Ito po yung workspace niya. So there's black bar. So we don't want that. We have to make sure that we have the project settings and we have this match with the video. Okay, custom. Let's have this 1080 also. So it's a square video. So we have to make sure that our video matches with our workspace matches with our video. You see now the black bar is gone. So this is exactly the video size that we're going to export. Now we're going to deal with the caption at the top. So, in annotation tab, meron po tayo dyang tab to actually annotize the annotations. So here we have text here to select which annotations that we wanted to use. And I think I would probably start with the shape. And shape, I think I would choose black at the top. Or probably let's try to color this with white. And every time you select an object, you see that these properties on the side, nag-iiba po yan. Nag-iiba po yung mga properties dyan. So if I select this object, you see that this is being selected. Okay? So, dyan po, we could change the color. So I would probably change this to nasa kabilang screen yung color selection ko. So I would probably select this to white. So let's see if that's more effective. And our text would probably be black. So let's add a text here. And let's add a black text. And we don't want a shadow. Ano ba yung shadow niyan? Let's delete that. So I think we are going to use this one instead. So meron pa lang yung shadow, ha? Where is the shadow? The shadow of my life. Shadow of my life. Here. So may drop shadow siya. So let's remove that drop shadow there. So then we will change the text to black. And I think the font would be Arial. Much better to be Arial. I think Gilsons instead. So Gilsons. EFG. Here. It's Gilsons MT. Pum 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 pum. So let's try to add. Let's zoom this part here. 75%. So press nyo yung space para madrag nyo yan. So there you go. So we have already discussed about the text that should be added here. So let me just resize the box of the text. And then meron po kaming chat for the client and it says the missing link of your marketing now. What separates a successful from unsuccessful in marketing? So there you go. So that's the changes that you wanted, or that the text that you wanted to be added. Control V. And there you go. So let's zoom it out again so that we will be able to see this in a greater scale like that. So I think it's much cleaner to actually do this like this. Or I think it's much actually better to make this, let me open a Word so that I could change the caption or the size for this. So this is the Word document. And let's shift F3. What is happening? Shift F3 to change the caps lock in marketing. So I think that's it. So let's copy and paste. Let's see how this looks for a caption. Wait, what happened? So let's open this in a notepad so that we will not be able to copy the formatting. There you go. So what's happening? So this 11 points. There you go. So let's select and make this bigger. And there you go. And I think the text has been grayed out. So let's make this. Let's make sure that it's black, kind of gray. Let's probably make this darker. There you go. And also, this box has a shadow. So we don't want the box to have a shadow. It's kind of awkward to see, probably. So let's zoom it out a bit. I think maganda din. Maganda din na may box, kind of a separator. And there you have it. So what separates marketing? So let's try to make this bold. If this looks better. What separates a successful from the unsuccessful marketing? I probably will make this successful underlined and italicized if that's possible. Yeah, successful. I'm gonna change the color to red. Oh yeah, so I could change the color. So yeah, unsuccessful separates. Unsuccessful in marketing. Okay, what separates successful from the unsuccessful marketing? I'm gonna make this underline in marketing. Yeah, so now we are going to listen to the video. So it says, so we have to listen. So let's zoom in the control scroll up for zooming in the timeline. Oops, this is the actual text. So this is the video here underneath. So let's drag the timeline up. Oops, yeah, there you go. So that we could we could see more. We could see the timeline more. So there you go. There you have it. So you have to type in the audio. So Brandon says, how many of you? So let's probably slow this down for a bit. So clip speed, I'm gonna make this the clip speed would be I don't know if this is possible. Oh no, not good. So let's just listen to it. How many have seen or heard people? How many of you guys have seen or heard people? Is that exact? Using the same. Same tactics you're using or planning using. So that's this is a transcribing task, kind of a transcribing task, but it's pretty easy. It's pretty quick. You just have to listen to the video. But for the sake of making this video a little bit shorter, I know it's kind of long. Ang gagawin po natin is we are going to get just this short video, short text that we already transcribed here and put it here. And we're going to drag a shape again at the bottom. And I think it's going to be black. Let's try black. And there you have it. And the block text, or the black box, from the airplane. So let's go ahead and... Oh yeah, better way. So the text at the bottom, it's already end up here. So the text, so we have to make sure that we layered it appropriately. So let's zoom this out. This is one of the problem I hate about video editors is the space where you actually have to do the editing. So I could actually make this at the top so that these are going to get through, and have to make sure, by the way, you have to make sure that it goes through up until the end of the video. So there you go. And also this one, this block box here, it should also be up until the end of the video, because it will be having the video, the caption in it. So also, I think what I'm going to do is to kind of check some marks here. How many of you guys heard and seen people? So I think in captioning or in subtitling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words per line, or I think 6 would be appropriate. So let's have this. How many of you guys have seen or heard So I think we would just put it on one line at a time. But of course, let's put this at the top more. And then let's group this, Control G for grouping. And then I'm gonna lock this up so that I will not be able to touch that. So if I add anything, that will not get distracted, because this is already static, so that should remain as is up until the end of the video. And then here, from the shape, I'm gonna add another element, which is text. So there you have it. So let's add this text here on here. So now let's zoom in the video. We have this again. We don't want the shadow, we don't want the drop shadow, and we want it to be added to the caption box. So this should be the caption box that will contain our text. So let's have it that way. And then we'll type in how many of you guys like that. So let's probably listen. How many of you guys have seen or heard? Probably we'll add more. Have seen or heard people using text. How many of you guys have seen or heard? So probably just too big. Let's just make this a little bit smaller. And also the text is kind of so wide. So let's make that a little bit centered and smaller. There you go. So how many of you guys? And also this one, we also want to remove the shadow for that. And then for the black box, I think let's make that get off. And then I think there should be some opacity changes there, like that. Okay, so the opacity is kind of we lower the opacity. So let's see how it goes. So there you go. So let's just hide this. We no longer need this part here. Also, there you go. And also the text, I don't like that, so we would probably choose Oswald or Open Sans. I think still Jill is Jill MT. What's that? Jill Sans MT is much better. Oh yeah. So I think let's make this a little bit. So that's now set. How many of you guys have seen or heard? So let's listen to it up until where that should stop. So it's here, seen or heard. So we have to make sure that the text also ends from that moment. And then we're going to just copy the page. Just copy this, Control C. And then let's double click. Let's just double click here. Just click this timeline at the very end, and then paste that. Copy and Control V. So Control C and Control V. So there you go. And then we are going to type the next word. People using tactics. You're using. Uy, Tagalog yun. You're using. So double click to edit. People using tactics. Oops, sorry. So let's try it again. Let's marker. Oops. It seems like this changed. This was changed. How many people using? How many of you guys using tactics? Okay, there you go. So how many of you guys? So this is where it stops. There you go. You see, now it's much better. So let's try playing it again. Using same tactics you're using. I think it's actually much better to make it appear hurt people. How many of you guys have seen or heard people using the same tactics you're using? So let's probably end it here. Let's cut this out and make it smaller, make it centered, using the same tactics you're using. Copy and paste. Using or plan using. It's kind of delay you're using, so let's zoom it out. Here you go. So you could actually use marker to actually mark some of the where you should stop the text, like that. So for example here, so like that. So I say that that is the end mark of planning using. So I could say, okay, this is the end of this text. Then the next would be the next part should be for the next text, but getting the same result. So I think that's all for this video for now. So I'm now going to export this. Now we have seen how many of you guys have heard. So I think there's no yeah. So again, now that we have decided how our caption should look like, so everything I think is already been settled here. So let's just zoom it out and see how it goes, and then we are now going to export this. Okay, so we're going to select all, or we'll just going to, for now, I'm going to just export this part here with the caption, so that I could show this up to the client like that. So I'm gonna right click, produce timeline selection, so save, next, and check, make sure that size is correct. Then caption, I'm gonna say sample, and then click finish, and now it's rendering, and there you have it. So now it should be added here in a few seconds. There you go, caption sample. So let's double click. You see, that's the how it looks. So I'm now going to send this to the client, and I will say, hi Evie, this is how the, so I will say, so one of the things that you do as a worker online is to make sure that you keep your employers updated, or your clients updated. So I'm gonna drag this from here on this communication tool. There you go. And ready to send. Upload. So now it's uploading. There you have it. Yeah, so I think that's it. But I'm gonna make it changes. I'm gonna get back to that this earlier with a much bigger scale of text so that they could actually read and understand the words that has been spoken by Brandon, or much better to see it clearly. Alright, so I think that's all for this video. Hopefully you've learned a lot from this training about subtitling or captioning a video using the Camtasia Studio. Hello and welcome to Pinoy Online Channel, and don't forget to click that subscribe button and that bell icon, and click all so that you will get notification po sa lahat ng mga bagong videos that we will be uploaded. Thank you.